I'm going to do a quick demonstration of the Delta Virtual Fleet 727 Autopilot. First thing we're going to do is pull up your autopilot panel. If you go to the bottom left of your screen, you'll see the little radio stack icon. We're going to click it and open it. It's going to open up our autopilot panel. On your autopilot panel, you got your nav frequency and your comm frequency. Underneath that, you have your autopilot mode selector. Right now, you can see we're in manual, which means we're going to manual fly the plane. Your nav lock will actually, if you choose that, will track whatever VOR frequency you have programmed in nav 1, and it'll track it on the course you have set. The other mode, the auto GS, will actually, it's what you're going to use to fly ILS approach, and that will be talked about in a different video. You have your aileron and your elevation switches. These are like your autopilot master switches. And beside those, you have your altitude hold switch and your heading indicator hold switch. So what we're going to do for this flight, we're going to leave out of the Jackson Airport on runway 16 right, fly runway heading, and we're going to intercept the Macomb VOR at about a radial of 190 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to program or tune in the frequency of the Macomb VOR, which is 116.7. The Delta Fleet 727, when you're trying to tune in your frequencies, if you see the middle of your dial, if you actually move the dial in the center, you're going to move all the numbers to the right of your decimal. So we're going to go down to 6, actually 7, I'm sorry. If you go outside the dial, this is going to move your frequency numbers on the left side of your decimal up and down. So we can move those. And we're going to do 116.7. So that's programmed for the Macomb VOR. Next, we're going to get our heading indicator to our runway heading. And we're going to do a 190 degree course because that's what we're going to track the Macomb VOR at. So we got the VOR tuned in, runway heading, and we have the course that we want to track the Macomb VOR. Right now you can see we don't have it, but once we start climbing and gaining altitude, we'll pick up the VOR. As we throttle up and start to go down runway, your thrust hold switch is right here to hold your speed, your auto throttle if you will. So we're going to get up to 130 knots and rotate. $120 and $130, we're going to rotate. Positive rate climb and gear up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the aileron hold, which is the first one you want to turn on. And we're going to do our heading. That's going to hold our runway heading. As soon as we get the vertical speed that we want, and I'm going to try around 1900 feet. We got it, and if you once you hit your elevation switch, it should hold your vertical climb. And I'm going to throttle back a little bit. And you can see the Macomb VOR now. We're about 59 miles from the Macomb VOR. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch our course indicator. You can see your lines start to move in. So right now, you can see that we're maintaining our runway heading. We're maintaining about 2,000 feet on our climb. And just so I don't break the cardinal rule of 250 below 10,000, I'm going to go ahead and just tell it to hold 225 knots. Now you can see we're close enough to almost intercepting at 190 radial of Macomb VOR. So I'm going to go ahead and select the nav lock, and you can start to see the 727 slowly turn. It's going to start tracking the Macomb VOR at 190 degree course. And just to show you how to hold the altitude, I'm going to bring my ascent rate down a little bit. Turn off your elevation switch to bring the nose of the plane down. We're going to hold it at 4,500, so I'm going to just decrease it to about 500 feet per minute. Turn on the elevation switch to hold it there. And when we get to 4,500 feet, I am going to hit the altitude hold switch. And then Delta Fleet 727, when you hit the altitude hold, it will go up about 100 feet or so past your desired altitude, and it'll bring the aircraft back down. So right now you can see we're tracking the Macomb VOR, radial 190 degrees, and we're holding it at 4,500 feet. And you can see we are right on track with the Macomb VOR at 190 degrees. Thanks for watching.